Once, in a river that stretched beyond the horizon, lived a school of silver fish. They swam together, always moving against the current, learning, adapting, surviving. The water was wild, full of stones and predators. But that's what made them strong. Every day was a new test, a battle of endurance, instinct, and unity. Among them was an old fish named Rayan, respected and calm. He had lived through storms, droughts, and floods. And though the young ones often found him slow, they listened when he spoke, because he had wisdom that only time can teach. One day, as they swam through the wide river, a young fish named Taro noticed something unusual, a small, still pond beside the flowing stream. It was beautiful, crystal clear, surrounded by reeds and filled with insects and plants. He darted toward it, calling out, "Everyone, come look, this place is perfect." No current, no danger, no hunger. One by one, the fish entered the pond. The water was calm. Food was everywhere. No struggle. No fear. "This is heaven," said one. "Why fight the river when we can live here in peace?" The others agreed. Even Rayan hesitated. The place was peaceful indeed. But deep inside, he felt uneasy. He looked back at the flowing river, its endless current, its roar, and wondered what might be lost in the quiet. Days passed. The fish laughed, played, and rested. No one needed to swim against the current anymore. They grew comfortable. Their fins, once strong, now moved lazily. Their instincts dulled. Their eyes, once sharp and alert, lost their spark. And soon they stopped exploring the pond at all. Weeks turned into months. Life became easy, predictable. Taro, the young fish who had found the pond, often said, "This is how life should be, calm, safe, and full of comfort." Rayan would smile softly and reply, "Comfort feels good, until it takes away your strength." But no one listened. They laughed at his warnings. "Old fish always worry too much," they said, so Rayan made a decision. He told the group, "I'm leaving. The river calls to me. You may stay, but I must keep swimming." The others tried to convince him to stay. "Why go back to danger? To struggle?" Rayan looked at them kindly and said, "Because struggle keeps me alive." And with that, he left, alone, swimming back into the wild current. Time passed. The pond grew quieter. The seasons changed. Then one summer afternoon, dark clouds gathered. Rain began to fall, gentle at first, then heavy. The river swelled. Water rushed in and out of the pond, stirring up mud and sand. The fish panicked. They tried to swim, but their fins were weak. They hadn't used them in so long. The water turned murky. Their food disappeared. And as the rain continued, the connection between the pond and the river broke. Now they were trapped. Days passed. The pond began to shrink under the hot sun. The air turned thick. The fish gasped, struggling for oxygen. Taro looked around in despair. He remembered Rayan's words. "Comfort feels good, until it takes away your strength." He tried to swim, but his body barely moved. He was too weak. By the end of the season, the once beautiful pond had become a shallow pool of mud. Only silence remained. Then one morning, Rayan returned. He had followed the current back, sensing something was wrong. When he arrived, he saw the pond, dry, lifeless. Dozens of fish lay still on the cracked ground. Among them, Taro, barely alive. Rayan rushed to him. "My child, what happened?" With his last breath, Taro whispered, "You were right. We forgot how to swim, and the pond forgot the river." Rayan closed his eyes, silent. He looked up at the sky and murmured, "The current that tests us is the same current that keeps us alive." He swam away slowly, back to the open river, the only place where life still flowed. Moral message, sometimes. The comfort we crave is the quietest trap of all. It feels peaceful, but it steals our strength one day at a time. The truth is, growth doesn't happen in still waters. It happens when we move against the current, face our fears, and keep swimming, because the moment we stop challenging ourselves, we stop living, even if we're still breathing. So ask yourself today, are you in the river, growing, learning, struggling, or have you settled in a pond that's slowly shrinking? If this story touched you, take a moment to reflect. And if it made you think, like it, share it, and subscribe to Eterna Tales for more stories that speak to the soul. Because some stories aren't just told, they're felt.